The sands of Egypt shimmered under a relentless sun. A lone figure, Moses, walked with purpose towards the grand city of Pharaoh. Years of exile had tempered his spirit, but his heart burned with a divine mission. God had spoken. He was to free his people, the Israelites, from bondage. Moses stood before Pharaoh, a king who ruled like a god. His voice echoed in the vast hall as he delivered God's message. "Let my people go," he boomed, "so that they may worship me." Pharaoh's laughter echoed cruelly. The Israelites were his slaves, their backs bent to his will. He would not be defied. Moses warned Pharaoh of God's wrath. He spoke of plagues that would darken the skies and scorch the earth. Pharaoh scoffed. He, the ruler of Egypt, would not be moved by idle threats. His heart, hardened by pride, refused to yield. The Nile, lifeblood of Egypt, turned crimson. Blood, thick and foul, flowed in its channels. Fish died, the air reeked, and panic gripped the land. But Pharaoh's heart remained unmoved. He attributed the calamity to the whims of nature, a trick of the senses. Next, the land teemed with frogs. They hopped in palaces, invaded homes, and fouled the temples. The creatures were everywhere, a slimy, croaking menace. Still, Pharaoh remained resolute. He would not be swayed by such inconveniences. His will was law. Then came the lice, tiny tormentors that swarmed over man and beast. They burrowed, they bit, they drove the Egyptians to distraction. Yet Pharaoh remained unyielding. He saw the plagues as tests of his power, trials to overcome. The air thickened with flies, a buzzing, biting cloud that darkened the sun. They swarmed the streets, the houses, even Pharaoh's palace. Then a pestilence swept through the land, striking down livestock. The cries of dying animals filled the air. Still, Pharaoh would not relent. Boils erupted on the skin of the Egyptians, fiery welts that brought unbearable agony. Hailstorms, fierce and unforgiving, pounded the land, destroying crops and shattering trees. Yet Pharaoh's heart remained hardened. He clung to his pride, refusing to acknowledge the power of God. Locusts descended upon Egypt, a ravenous horde that stripped the fields bare. Darkness, thick and suffocating, enveloped the land for 3 terrifying days. Yet Pharaoh's resolve held firm. He refused to surrender, his will locked in a battle against the will of God. Finally, the 10th and most terrible plague arrived. The angel of death passed through the land, taking the firstborn of every Egyptian family. Cries of anguish filled the night, a symphony of grief and despair. Pharaoh, his own heart pierced by the loss of his son, finally broke. With heavy heart, he granted the Israelites their freedom. They left in haste, a vast exodus of people desperate for a new life. They carried their meager belongings and the hope of a promised land. But Pharaoh, his grief giving way to anger, had a change of heart. He sent his chariots thundering after the fleeing Israelites. They were trapped, the Red Sea before them, Pharaoh's army behind. Then Moses raised his staff. The waters parted, a wall of water on either side, and the Israelites walked across on dry land. As Pharaoh's army charged into the seabed, the waters crashed down, swallowing them whole. The Israelites were free. On the far shore, they watched as the waters swallowed their oppressors. The exodus was complete.